Okay, you can see my last video, I'm at this point. I was thinking I'm going to go ahead and weld this in, but first I've got those holes fixed down there and over there. Weld them shut, round them down a little bit. Got the tops basically roughed in. They're just roughed in now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some epoxy primer on the back of this. I've already gone ahead and cleaned it, and since I just touched it again, I'm going to clean it again. Kind of gotten stupid there for a second, but yeah, I'll wipe that down again with wax and grease remover. So yeah, I'm going to epoxy prime this. That's my next step, and then I'll do the body work, the final body work on it later. But this is what I'm using. I've used this before. There's enough in there to do that tail panel, so I'm just going to do that to wipe this out, but I'll get this epoxy primer taken care of. Thought I'd also show you the gun I use, very cheap, Harbor Freight. This one is my primer only gun. That being because primer, an epoxy primer is a lot thicker, and I drilled this orifice out, so I actually have a larger hole in the end of here, so I can push that primer out. So if you guys are trying to use one of these that are made for painting, your primer is not going to come out of it. It's going to be way too thick, especially epoxy primer. So you have to drill that orifice out or get yourself a primer gun. Don't use a paint gun. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed up, and I'm going to shoot that tail panel. And I'll be back with the video of that. This epoxy comes out kind of thick, so it's a little hard to move it all. That's why you got a bigger orifice drilled in that painting tip. But yeah, got one coat on there. I'm going to go ahead and put one more light coat over it. And from there, I'll go ahead and do my repairs, because you can still see where the repairs need to be done. I'll get those repairs done, then we'll come back and we'll put a primer over the top of that, and we'll work it out from there on. But the epoxy is to cover that bare metal, because I really don't want that to rust or flash rust, because it doesn't take long for that to start accumulating rust once it's bare metal. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more coat here, and you'll see how it comes out and how I put it on. And just because of the way I do it, doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. This is how I do it. So it's up to you if you want to attempt the same thing or not. Okay, from there we'll let it dry, and I'll go back to working on that wheel well. Okay. Stuff is thick, I can see it. Still a little tacky in some spots. But yep, we'll let this just sit, like I say, and primer will go over the top of it as I do my body work and work out all these imperfections. So let's go ahead and move back over to the wheel well. Okay, now that I got that tail panel and primer, just the outside of it, I'm still waiting on my disc so I can clean the inside. I'm going to mark the flange on this wheel well so I know how to remove the old. So that's done pretty easily. Since I still have this where I want it, I'm just going to go in here with a marker And up here on this flange, where the new one and the old one meet, I'm going to make a little mark. Same way over here. So what I'll do is I'll take this off. I'll come in, I'll cut that old flange, and then I'll take it all off back to here so that the new one will go up against it. So right now I need to take off 14 clamps. Okay, you see the mark I made there? So my plan is to cut this mark and take all this out. This, I need to come back, cut some of this loose, because I'm not going to need all this. It's the same way up here. We're going to have to cut it on the line, move this flange, which means I'm going to have to pop this one out, but yeah, we'll get it on there. Okay, I'm going to see if I can't kind of get this to split a little bit. Kind of working. I'm not too worried if I bend up the inner flange because I can straighten that out with a hammer and dolly. So you can see what I'm doing there. I'm just going to remove this piece. I'm going to keep working at it, and I'll be back when I get it off here. You seen that wheel well in there, and I took it out. This surface rust here, I want to get rid of it. So what I'm going to do is go get a chemical, and I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to spray this down and see what happens. This is what I've got, Skyco. It's supposed to be a, I don't know what you want to call it, neutralizer, converter. You're supposed to be able to spray on that rust. So that's what we're going to try. I just have a little bit here in the bottle, and I'm just going to spray it on there, see what it does. I'm told it bleaches concrete, so I went ahead and put a pan underneath it so it won't bleach my concrete. Although I don't think it hurt my concrete at all because it's pretty dirty, but that's what we're going to try to do. Say you're supposed to leave it on there for like 24 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit. And while it's doing its thing, I'm gonna go work on that tail panel and try to get the little bit of body work done to it that it needs. Well, it won't be till tomorrow before this will be all dried out and I can see what it's doing. But it's definitely making my pan change color. Some dots on my floor, so I guess it is bleaching it out. I think I'll go to the other side and start working on it then. Okay, I'm probably going to do the same thing as I did on the other side. I'm probably going to come up here, cut, come over, come down, and take this section out. So we can replace it. So I can replace this outer wheel well and see how the inner one is. The inner one I'm sure is okay, but it may need some patches at the bottom, but we'll get to that when we get there. So I'm gonna grab some tools and we're gonna cut this out. Okay, like the other side, the plan's pretty simple. I'm gonna come up, cut, come down behind this scoop, take that piece out. That baby smoking. May have just done that in. Blow some cold air on that. Since it appears I killed my Porter cable, I went and got an electric one. We're going to finish this off, I hope.
that was much more brutal. That one really goes to town. Nice big old hunk of Bondo. Man, them people know how to restore cars, let me tell you. Nice. More of that bond. Look at that. That thing had gotten hit and they drilled so many holes in it. That's crazy. Then again, maybe they drilled holes in it to hold the Bondo. Oh no, it got hit. That's all pushed in. That shouldn't even be in there that far. They didn't even pull the wheel well out. Nice. Nice. This has been hit right here really hard, and it's bent this. So I'm going to sneak up on all this. Right now I'm going to cut this out and bring it over. And I'm going to just cut the rust area out. And I'm going to bring it back over and cut out this area. I'm going to leave a lot of this up here so I can figure out what to do from there. But again, air. So you're going to hear the air compressor come on eventually. I thought I'd show you guys how I'm removing this undercoating. It's actually coming off pretty easily. Just got a torch, putty knife. My putty knife is flexible. Yep, but I'll continue doing that all the way inside and get this all out of the way. Okay, I'm going to stop right here, getting this real well ready to put in or getting it close. See what I did. I'm basically doing it the same way as the other side. I did get this dent knocked out, pulled out, so this is where it's supposed to be. I don't know how much more of this I'm going to be cutting away to get the other one back in there. I do have more rust down there than the other side did, but yeah, we're going to have to stop the video here. I'll pick up on the next video. Please, if you like my videos, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Later.